When we provide the right tools for the poor to manage their money, we are providing so much more than financial security.
It was actually in Yugoslavia where I first saw people talking about, no, I want to keep my money in this bank because they're going to support me in building this business that I've always wanted to grow. And so understanding that a financial institution could be a vehicle, a support for your dreams. But I was starting to get this kind of itch, if you will, that the reason I had gone into development was that I was just feeling farther and farther away from the people I had gone into the field to try to serve. I was not particularly focused on women. When I was working with banks and leasing companies and insurance companies throughout the developing world, I never asked a banker, how many women clients do you have? Do women clients borrow differently or use their money differently? Are you financing women's businesses differently than men's businesses? Never thought to ask that. But as soon as I started traveling through women's world banking and I saw the extraordinary organizations in our global network, and I really understood that it was women, both in the context of their households, and their communities, and their businesses, they were the ones who were making change happen.
We just arrived in Princeton and we're on our way to the Mudd Library, Women's World Banking Archive.
This organization was born out of, the idea of women's voices need to be heard and they need to be reflected through their financial and economic decisions. It also really galvanized a movement. Women from all over the world came together for this. It was just really very moving to see those documents, to see those handwritten notes on the founding of Women's World Banking.
So I just want to note that you could get coffee juice and Danish for $1.95. That is history.
So we're still about building local communities, creating economic growth over these 45 years. We've been laser focused on providing services to that woman who has been un- or underserved. But we do it not because she's a charity case. We do it because it's good business. And ideally, we'll be working to create communities that don't have to be dependent on development assistance. Every year, the financial services industry, insurance, banking, asset management, are leaving $700 billion every year in revenues on the table just because they're not serving women at the same level that they're serving male customers. Women's World Banking launched its current strategy, first time we've ever done a 10-year strategy, in 2018. We wanted to reach 100 million women with a financial product or service that they didn't previously have access to. We are 7 years into that strategy, and we closed 2024 having reached 86 million women, and we are on target to cross that 100 million mark. That is truly profound, to be able to say that we have reached low-income women at scale. One of the reasons I remain as inspired by the issues of financial inclusion and economic opportunity for women is that it is genuinely something that we can all contribute to. If you're a leader of a financial service provider, I challenge you to come work with Women's World Banking, because we're not only going to help you design products that work for women, we've got really good evidence that shows what works for women tends to work for everybody. And for you policymakers and regulators out there, we have so enjoyed working with leaders who have recognized the importance of national financial inclusion strategies and how if they don't start solving for women's financial inclusion, their greater goals are really going to be out of reach. Together, we can unlock more stable, more robust, and more inclusive financial systems.